Hello, Miss Seymour here. I'd like to share Dear Mr. Blueberry with you. It's a book written by Simon James. I wonder who Mr. Blueberry is. This here, what do you think that is? If you guess stamp, you are right. And this is the postal, after you put a stamp on your letter to mail it, the post office then stamps it with an ink stamp, and then that helps to organize which part of the province or country you're sending your letter to, or maybe you're sending it to another country altogether. Dear Mr. Blueberry. Over here, to David and to Lucy with love. That's called a book dedication. If you write your own story, sometimes you have somebody in mind that you'd like to say, I dedicate my book to my mom, my dad, my cousin, my best friend. Maybe it's a teacher, or maybe it's the principal or vice principal. Moving along, Dear Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I love whales very much, and I think I saw one in my pond today. Please send me some information on whales, as I think he might be hurt. Love, Emily. If you look over here at the picture, I don't know, is that a pond or is that a pool in the backyard? My goodness, I hope that whale is okay. But if you look over here at the letter, we always start letters with dear or to someone, and we put their name. And then we start the actual body of the letter just below that. At the end, you always have to sign your name because the person getting the letter needs to know who it's from. Oh, I'm having trouble turning that page. Dear Emily, here are some details about whales. I don't think you'll find it was a whale you saw because whales don't live in ponds, but in salt water. Yours sincerely, your teacher, Mr. Blueberry. Well, I guess that mystery is solved. Mr. Blueberry is the teacher. That was nice that the teacher wrote back to Emily and answered her question. Oh, she's going to write again, it looks like. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I am now putting salt into the pond every day before breakfast, and last night I saw my whale smile. I think he's feeling better. Do you think he might be lost? Love, Emily. I don't know if the table salt that you use, that little salt shaker, is going to help make that water as salty as the whale needs to live in it. What do you think? And have you ever been to a beach where there was salt water? I've been to the beach. I like to collect shells when I go to the beach. Dear Emily, please don't put any more salt in the pond. I'm sure your parents won't be pleased. I'm afraid there can't be a whale in your pond because whales don't get lost. They always know where to go. They always know where they are in the oceans. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. And do you think, my friends, that if she's putting salt, if it is a pond, maybe other water life live there and it might be harmful to them? So let's see what Emily does. Oh, isn't that interesting? A long time ago, before we had mailboxes outside of the home, you had a little mail slot, and the mail carrier would push the mail in through the mail slot. So it looks like she's just got her letter from Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I am very happy because I saw my whale jump up and spurt lots of water. He looked blue. Does this mean he might be a blue whale? Love, Emily. P.S. What can I feed him with? And when you're writing a letter, my friends, this P.S., do you know what that stands for? That stands for postscript. Post meaning after. So if you've written your whole letter and you forgot to say something, you can write P.S. postscript and add in the little thing that you forgot that you wanted to say. P.S. What can I feed him with? Well, what do you think whales eat? Do you think they eat hamburgers? Do you think they eat other sea life? Do you think they eat plants? Let's see. Dear Emily, blue whales are blue and they eat tiny shrimp-like creatures that live in the sea. However, I must tell you that a blue whale is much too big to live in your pond. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. P.S. Perhaps it's a goldfish? And then you see Emily studying and reading up on goldfish over here. Dear Mr. Blueberry, last night I read your letter to my whale. Afterward, he let me stroke his head. It was very exciting. I secretly took him some crunched up cornflakes and breadcrumbs. This morning I looked in the pond and they were all gone. I think I shall call him Arthur. What do you think? Love, Emily. Do you think that Emily could actually have a blue whale as a pet in her backyard? I wonder if my friends at home have a pet. I have a dog. My dog is a Chihuahua. That's the only pet that I have. Dear Emily, I must point out to you quite forcibly now that in no way could a whale live in your pond. You may not know that whales are migratory, which means they travel great distances every day. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. I wonder how Emily is feeling right now with that news. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I'm a little sad. Arthur has gone. I think your letter made sense to him and he has decided to be migratory again. Love, Emily. Dear Emily, please don't be too sad. It really was impossible for a whale to live in your pond. Perhaps when you're older you would like to sail the ocean studying and protecting whales. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, it's been the happiest day. I went to the beach and you'll never guess, but I saw Arthur. I called to him and he smiled. I knew it was Arthur because he let me stroke his head. I gave him some of my sandwich. And then we said goodbye. I shouted that I loved him very much, and I hope you don't mind I said you loved him too. Love, Emily. And then in brackets she wrote, and Arthur. And we've come to the end of the story. Boys and girls, I would love it if you wrote a letter to me. You could even email it to me. And perhaps you can tell me about some of the things that you've been doing while you're at home, or if you have a pet, you could write about that. Thanks for listening to my story. Till next time.